What's
yo,
up,
yo, yo,
everybody?
yo.
How the heck
How's
is
everyone
everybody
doing?
today?
Awesome.
Just
What
awesome?
up?
Not like super great?
Not super great, you know that.
So
Not this
tonight
week.
we got Eddie, who's going to just absolutely rail on the good old industry of rental houses, which I can't wait. And then we have a new special guest, Michael, who has got a migraine, migraine that, that's what happens when you hold the camera and shooting all day long. You get migraines. Anyway, hint, Michael, if you're going to post stuff on social media about how cool and excited you are about a shoot, and then you put on there you got a migraine, and it doesn't work that way. But anyway, we have Mike Blue from Mike Blue Media. He is sitting in tonight for Michael, and we got some good content tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I do too.
What?
But you know what I love about Twisted Views?
What's that, buddy?
And I'm going to share here is that I can do this from my home in my underwear.
Don't share. Please don't share. Oh God, please don't share.
Thankful you're holding your phone that direction.
Yeah, I'm like, if
I
you go
know.
any lower with that, I'm just gonna not. It's not gonna be good.
But.
No, I don't want to see your butt. That's just it. No, but.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, Mike Blue, welcome to the show, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Now,
I'm ready.
Coming in August, as I think we figured August, probably mid or end. Don't you have a show coming on? We'll talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna team up with you guys at Weeby TV, and we're gonna come out with a show called The Social Introvert. And basically, it's gonna be me around the town checking out places and bringing them to the viewers and giving them a different perspective, maybe on how Busch Gardens, or when you come to downtown Dunedin, you go to Tampa, some places that everyone knows about, but maybe you might not know the full gist of everything.
Right.
My spin on things.
Downtown Dunedin's got some very cool, eclectic stuff.
Yeah, downtown Dunedin has one of the oldest breweries in the area, the Dunedin Brewery.
Yep.
They have the Artisan, which is a new development that just built right across the street.
Right.
They're trying to build up the arts district. They just got a ferry service now that's going to be running on the weekends from Clearwater Beach to Clearwater to Dunedin.
Right.
So yeah, it's a growing downtown area.
Maybe one day we can do a shoot from down there live.
Yes.
That'd be kind of cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be cool. Maybe we'll kick off the show that way.
That would be.
We'll talk about it.
All cool. Well, yeah, we'll get that in the works. Yep. So, Eddie, buddy.
Yes.
What kind of problems are you having, brother?
Well, it's time to move. The girls need more space, and it's time to move. And I've been planning this for a while, but for rentals you can only look out so much ahead because people want you to be able to rent right away. I can't they don't want a house sitting vacant for 2 months just because you're looking at that time frame. So I began looking, and it's just been, the biggest thing that bugs me is this one company I'm dealing with that they're pushing to, we want you to pre-apply, pay your $150, pre-apply, and we'll hold the house for you so no one can take it from you. And when it's available in 2 or 3 weeks, then you can move in.
Right.
You can see it and you can move in. My problem is I'm not going to lease a home that I have not been able to walk the ground and look at it and make sure it's going to fit my needs.
Well, absolutely.
So I asked them, I said, okay, if I do that and then I don't like the house, will my fee, that $150, would that apply to another application? I'm like, oh no, you have to pay a new application.
What?
You have to put the house back on the market. It's like, or they only take one application at a time. So they sent me out to go view this house. On Saturday, I go with my daughters, 9 a.m. We look at this house, and it's actually perfect. Location where I want it, good size. It meets all my needs. My daughters love it. And because I know myself as an impulse buyer, I've taught myself that not to make rash decisions. Yeah, so I wait a few hours, and by that afternoon, I'm like, you know what? The more I think about it, yes, this is the right house. So I go on my computer, start my lease application, and automatically says this house is no longer available. Literally, been 6 hours.
Did you call them?
So I called him and I asked, is this what's for real? You just let me view this house a few hours ago. Yeah, just someone already put in a lease application, and once an application goes in, we take it off the market. I said, well, what if their background check doesn't go, or they change their mind and just
right?
They're like, oh no, everything's gonna go good. We pre-check our applicants and all. It was just, I don't know, very frustrating.
Wow.
And ever since, every house I look at, or I see and I ask for a viewing, within a few hours I get a response. This house is no longer available. This house is no longer available.
Wow.
So it's like,
do you think it's because
the house?
Do you think it's because you have a beard?
Probably.
I know if anybody at home's not, I don't know if you guys are watching, and I don't know if anybody follows us, but
yeah,
Mike's cheating. He's got a hat on. We're all three bald guys with beards.
Yep,
we are.
Yes, we are. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. So I mean,
the market has definitely changed in the area for everything, for purchasing, but also for rentals too. It's really crazy to see the demand. I think it's because reports say that millennials don't want to purchase homes, and then yet another report will say that their dream is to own a home.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, what's going on? But I think that's why you're seeing a higher demand of when a lot of people realize that they can't purchase a home because in this area it's getting more and more expensive to where they would like to live, they turn to rentals. But that's crazy that they would make you pay a deposit for every single house that you'd want to apply for.
We need to find you a realtor. Because
that's the thing. Because
that or get somebody from that company to give us a call or clarify of how do they justify charging that as an application fee for every time? I'd understand maybe an initial background check or credit check or something like that.
But once you do
why
it
would
once,
that be on
done.
every single?
Yeah,
exactly.
It should be checked.
Right, you're in their system. That should be it. I have a feeling that someone misspoke.
60 days. You know what I mean? Make the background check and all that.
Let's just hope that someone misspoke.
And what's the name
because
of this
that
company?
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. The thing about it, viewers, if anyone knows of a good lead on a house, here, and I'm not looking, there's 10 million homes I could rent in Riverview, Brandon. I'm not interested in that part of town.
Where are you looking for?
Okay.
Where are you looking at, Eddie?
I'm looking, I work in McDill. I like the area where I'm at now, which is just south of Carrollwood. I would consider Carrollwood as well. I don't want to go too far north, like North Tampa, but just kind of in that area. I mean,
you mean you wouldn't want to live out by me?
No, no, that's dangerous. That's
another world up there. It's another world up there.
It is absolutely. Well, I don't know. It's it's kind of quaint. It's got its thing. I'm trying to be preoccupied. I'm inviting people to watch now.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, in my search, there's houses that come up in Port Richey and Newport Richey that, the bang for the buck is incredible.
It's huge. I would
get a lot more house.
Yep.
But it's too far. It's just way too far.
I have a buddy of mine.
That would be a long commute.
A new friend of mine that I work a couple of weeks with him. I'm a couple of days a week with him over in Tampa, and he was trying to find a place, and he wound up having to go to St. Pete.
Oh,
I believe that. St. Pete is booming.
Nuts.
St. Pete is booming. I was just down there 2 weekends ago.
But he works
crazy
in
the
Tampa.
development that's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
They all head over to Gandy or Howard Franklin. They go straight shot over.
The problem,
and now they're talking about connecting the Selman.
Are they really?
Until there's an accident.
Oh,
then you're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, and then it's a 2-hour. The other day there was like a 2-hour drive over the bridge.
That's crazy.
That's my problem with it.
and there's no other way around.
No.
Right.
No. Peninsula.
So we need a good. You know what? I work. One of my clients is a realtor. One of our shows, the Consumer Quarterback. I can see if he can do a little something for you, maybe some looky, because he has
something on the looky.
Yeah.
The MLS lists rentals. The MLS will have rentals on there.
Exactly.
Every day I'm on Realtor.com.
The MLS has rentals that realtors don't want to put out there. They want to keep them in there. They want to keep them in house a lot of times.
Right.
There's tons of MLS listings for rental properties.
So
that's cool. Yeah. So
I'll talk to my guy.
Help me out.
Yeah. For you, Eddie, absolutely, buddy.
All right.
I just can't.
Eddie needs a home.
Here's what's mind-boggling.
I always feel like I should be laying down when I'm watching the show.
I know. Maybe, I think I'm going to lay you sideways next time. There you go. See there, Mike. Mike's getting into it. I can't do that in here. I'd fall over. That's just the way it is in here. So, what you can see. So the reason we're talking about this is what I don't really get is why do you got to pay a fee every single time? If you're working with the exact same people, they've already got, I understand they got to do stuff just to look in the background, credit check, blah, blah, blah. Credit check is $12, by the way. I know what it costs because my wife is a mortgage person, and to do a try, that's pulling all 3 credit bureaus, it's $12.
Yeah.
So I'd be mad getting a hard hit on my credit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want them hitting my credit every single time.
No, that's the whole thing too. Even a soft hit shows up. I don't care what they tell you.
That's why I want to work with. It would be nice to work with one realtor, not be hitting a whole bunch of folks and stuff like that. It's just
I'll talk.
I want to move with time. I don't want to be rushed and make this a last minute thing.
Right.
Where I got 3 days. To.
Well, you can always live in my RV. That's fine, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, I open my house to you. Heck, Michael stays at the house sometimes.
Yeah, I'll just leave all my furniture and everything out. No,
I got a workshop. You can put it all down there. Well, I wouldn't leave it long though, because it's a little humid down there.
Yeah.
Just saying, it is Florida. But
just saying.
Just saying,
bro.
Saying, no? But so in the news, we're gonna help. First thing first is we're gonna help Eddie get a house. Help Eddie, he's homeless. He's living in a box.
You're about to be homeless.
30 days. We need to find a place.
We need to find him a place.
So it shouldn't be hard.
In the news, and I didn't know this but until just a while ago when Mr. Mike told me that was to have this happen in his WX, right? Yeah. That this happened in his neighborhood. So let's talk about the stand your ground thing that's going on. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
We're talking about the Clearwater shooting?
Yeah.
At the Circle A?
Have they released video on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
See, I haven't seen it yet.
Yep,
yeah,
so...
I've been looking for a house.
Is it Sheriff... who's the sheriff?
Gutierrez.
Yeah. So he did his a press conference today. And he was reading off the statutes, the whole 9 yards, and it was amazing that someone literally tried to get him to say that this was racially motivated. And this is I love his comeback. Well, no, that's what you're trying to make it out, but that's not what it was. So they tried to turn it racial, and it didn't work because he just squashed it like a bug. He didn't tell them that He said he believed in gun control. He thinks people should be able to carry, and he likes to stand the ground. Now, he said that he might like to see it tweaked, but not completely rewritten. And then you hear all these shock jocks on The Bone and 93.3, but AM stations that and WFLA and people like that. So, they're all like, well, he could have got up and ran away. But see, here's the problem with that. And this is my point of view, and I'll shut up here and let everybody else talk because I know everybody has a tendency to shut up when I talk. So I want to hear everybody's opinion. But here's if you've never been in that type of situation, you should never open your mouth, period. Because you don't know, that guy could have pushed him and then rushed. Because where I'm from, and then the crap that I've been through, just because you knock a guy down doesn't mean that fight's over. You knock him down and you make sure he doesn't ever get back up. I'm not saying kill him, but you go at it. Because if they get back up, you could die, right? So if I was the guy getting knocked down, now I'm not saying I completely agree with him shooting him, but I think if you pull the gun out and the guy, whoa, we've been good. But he was in fear of his life. He got knocked down, and when he got knocked down, if the guy was still leaning toward him, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot him. If you're in fear for your life and you don't know that guy's not coming on you, or his buddy that was standing right there is not coming for you, then what he did technically is correct. Now I'll shut up.
Like I said, it's kind of hard without seeing the video and getting all the info.
I wish you would have saw. We should have talked about that before the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Just keep talking because I'm going to find the video.
Okay, yeah, because what I heard was on the on radio. So on my way to work, I always listen to 970, and they've been talking about it there. So I've heard a little bit about it, but Mike, you've researched it a little bit. What's your opinion?
So, for starters, I drive by that gas station probably 3 times a week. It's around the corner from my house. So I'm familiar with the area and I'm familiar with the gas station. I'm familiar with the parking spot that this argument was about. But let's back up a little bit before the shooting happened, and I'm trying to understand, where's the call of restraint from the gentleman who threw him to the ground? There was no, he came storming out of the store, and there was no hesitation to question, to say, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you close to my car? Why did I get it? And there was nothing. It was, he came storming up, his hands were out, and he threw this guy to the ground. And it was only a matter of 4 seconds, the sheriff said on the tape, from the time that he was thrown to the ground and the time that he pulled out his gun and shot once. One time.
Okay.
And so, and when you watch the tape too, there's a gentleman in a blue shirt that's coming out of the store with him, following him. So as this gentleman goes and throws him to the ground, another man's behind him. It's only when he sees the handgun being pulled out of the waistband does he go back like that, and then the other gentleman shot. Now, they've slowed down this tape so much. Remember, this is 4 seconds. They've slowed this tape down so much to where there must be 1 millisecond to where after he's thrown to the ground, it's almost like he threw him to the ground and he went like this to stand back straight up. They're saying that that's him backing up. But I guess you ask yourself, if that's not the time, he's a legal gun, he's permitted, he's legally allowed to carry. So if that's not the time to pull out your gun because you feel you're in threat of your life, then at what punch would it have taken before it's okay for him to pull it out? Now, I know everyone's like, well, what would have happened? No one knows what would have happened. Come on.
So here,
no one knows what would have happened. There was no race. There was nothing that was racially motivating about this at all. Supposedly the guy was an asshole to other people that parked in this spot because it's a convenient spot right around the corner. You can whip in, run in the store, and then you're out of there. And he's approached other people before, and I've read that in some of the statements that have come out after, saying that, well, this guy's gone up to people before and told them not to park there. Perfect example. He's gone up to people before and he's told them not to park there. He's never pulled out his firearm and shot anybody for parking there.
For that,
right.
Yeah.
So here's the video.
Right.
I'm not agreeing with it all, but I'm just saying, if this is what happens to you and you're on the ground, how many times does he get to punch me before I'm allowed to take my gun out, which I legally have from the state of Florida that says I'm allowed to carry it to protect myself.
Let me play this. Let me play the clip. Now, this is from Inside Edition, so everybody will know where we got it from, because there's no real clean video of it, but I'm going to let Eddie see this, okay?
McLaughlin and his 5-year-old son can be seen entering the store to buy snacks. Then this SUV pulls up. Cops say the driver, identified as Michael Draka, became upset when he saw that the white car was in a handicap spot without a permit. Words were exchanged with the woman behind the wheel. Then McLaughlin emerged from the store. When he realized what was happening, he shoved Draka to the ground.
All my man was trying to do is protect his girl like anybody else would.
What happens next is shocking. Watch as Draka reaches into his pocket, pulls out a pistol, and fires a single shot. McLaughlin staggers back to the store, clutching his chest. He collapsed and died of his injuries.
I need justice. This is not right at all.
Police say the shooter will not be charged because he's protected by Florida's controversial Stand Your Ground law, which says someone can use deadly force if they fear imminent death or great bodily harm. It's the same argument.
So anyway, so in my opinion, the minute
he was thrown hard. You can see he was thrown. He rolled to his side. He was thrown so hard to the ground.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was just a little love tap. He knocked him off his feet. The guy rolled over. And then the guy, you see the guy in the blue shirt walking up behind? Right. Okay, so if those were friends, whoa, Eddie, you went sideways on me, baby.
What happened?
There you are. Nope, go the other way.
No, right there?
Nope, you're sideways.
Just hold on.
There you go.
There you go.
So,
so that's what I'm saying, John. How do you know what that guy's intentions were?
Right.
He looked like he was coming out with some full-blown speed, too, out that door. And it seemed like she got out of the car at that time.
So in my opinion...
She was out of the car.
Right. Go ahead, Eddie.
It's a tough one. To me, it's a tough one because, I don't know. I'm looking at the whole thing. And you know, we live in a society nowadays where you need to make wise choices of when and how you're going to get involved. Because was it necessary for him to confront, you know, the lady in the car? I get it. I mean, it's go to the store, complain to the store manager, call it in, do something. You know, I'm not in full agreement to that. You know what I mean? Nothing was being done to him directly. That's a little bit different, okay? Until, obviously, this guy comes and pushes him instead of saying, what's the problem? Talk to me, not my wife.
Right.
You know, and they could have talked it out. You know, the pushing was a little bit harsh. Like, hey, I'm a tough guy. I'm gonna get you settled right away. So, again, it's a thing about choices on both sides that I think are poor choices and resulted in this guy dying in front of his 5-year-old son.
Right.
Which is the real sad part of this.
And that's why I said from the get-go, technically he's in the right. But morally,
the way the law is written, yes.
Morally, no. Yeah. I just think it was wrong for him to do that. And but see, the problem with these shock jocks, I was listening to, I'm not going to name him, but on the way home, I was listening to him. And he was calling people, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. The people are calling in, and they're agreeing with what the guy did. He followed the letter of the law in his circumstance at that time. Now, again, do I believe that he should have shot the guy? No. You know what? If you're going to be a big man and carry, let me tell you something. If you carry a gun, you're in a whole different league than everybody else. You got to be above everybody else. You got to have more patience than everybody else, because it's become too easy just to whip that gun out. So
when you're a law-abiding citizen, the last thing you ever want to do is take your gun out.
Exactly. So if there was a way to
the last thing you ever hope to God you never, ever have to take your gun out.
Right. You don't. So he could have got up and said, dude, seriously. Now, and then if the guy kept coming, that's when you would have done it.
Right.
So I do like the fact that we need to take that second to go, okay, he's not coming. And you know, just pulling it out sometimes. Now that's okay, but that's
against the law.
That's another set. You can't just pull it out. Once it's unholstered, you got to use that bad boy.
You committed, yeah.
So then you go to jail for pulling your gun out. And I know there's a actual what it's called, and Eddie probably knows better than I do, and Mike does.
So let's pose this question: if the gentleman didn't pass away and he lived, would this even be a story?
Yeah, I think it would, because then it would be completely racially pushed. I honestly do. I think they're going to make. I mean, Sharpton's coming to town, for God's sake. You know.
Okay, so let me pose it this way: had it been white on white,
never would have made
black
the news.
on black, would it be a story?
Nope.
Right. That's
Nope.
what I mean.
If the kid,
There's
in the
motive
blue
behind
shirt,
making it a news story.
right? If the kid in the blue shirt would have went over and he got shot, it'd have been a blip. It'd have been like, oh man, got killed today, blah blah blah, and that would have been all she wrote. Or if it was the shooter was black and the guy was black, then it would have been another blip. A man shoots man at a convenience store, typical blah 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 blah, and then gone. And so
There's a gun store. You know what's ironic about this is there's a gun store right across the street from there. Literally across the street from
Oh,
the
really?
store. Yeah.
What part of Clearwater is this?
It's right there at Sunset Point in Douglas.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There is. Yeah, it's
Coleman's, I think. I got to look them up.
It's on the corner
It's
of it's kitty corner, right?
Yeah. No, they're
Yeah.
right across the street from each other.
I don't remember. I've driven. I used to drive Sunset all the time.
Yeah, Coleman's or
Coleman's.
Cole's gun shop.
Okay. Yeah, it's the one that's camouflaged.
Directly across
right?
the street from them.
Yeah. So
You know, on the whole perspective, I mean, you can also.
I mean, it's a horrible
hold back
situation.
So much where you put yourself, you know, you can't hold back so much where, like I said, this guy is now beating on you where you might not even get a chance to defend
Right.
yourself.
right.
That's where it's like, where does someone say, when do you have the right to, at what punch is okay for you to start retaliating to defend yourself?
Correct. I mean, police officers face it all the time where they're like police brutality, he shot the guy, you know, the guy didn't even, you know, had a chance to shoot his gun. There's no freebies. You don't get a free shot at someone before that person can respond back. You know,
Right.
so it's not, the requirement's not that bullets are already flying your way before you can defend yourself.
Right.
Or you know, you have to be in immediate peril of death. It's if you fear, you know, that's the whole stand your ground. If you fear that you know this person can cause grievous bodily harm or death, that you are allowed to use deadly force to stop that attack.
So
the question is, was there an attack coming or not?
right, and you know what? He did it so quick, but I get it. I mean, it wasn't like he was a love tap. I mean, he got knocked the hell out over,
Thrown to the ground.
and when he hit, the first thing you're going to do
okay, but was it fear or was it a response of anger?
I bet it was both. I bet it was
That's
both.
or everything at once.
Well, okay, so the old saying goes, anger comes out of fear. That I didn't make that up. That's just been said forever.
I can see that.
So, yeah, he was feared, and then he got angry because he got sideswiped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then the anger took over, like, you're not going to do that again, or you're not going to pounce on me and start kicking me and beating me and whatever, you or your buddies. So the gun came out. Again, technically, what he did was in the law, but I don't think he should have. I don't know. I guess here's something I propose. If you're going to go get a gun, okay, then I think it should also be added into that you should also have to take self-defense classes. So to be taught not how to use a gun. Okay, I'm 52 years old and I've got 35 years of martial arts behind me. and I carry a gun. I'll use my hands and my feet before I'll pull my gun. Period. Unless the guy's coming with a gun and he's too far away from me to get to him. Because if you're within an arm distance of me, you're not going to shoot me. I'm that confident that that doesn't happen. I've taught people how to do it. I've seen people taught how to do it. So I think that if you're going to be a gun owner, even if you're handicapped, they should be able to teach you a way to potentially diffuse the situation before you pull that weapon. What do you say?
Correct. I mean, well, yeah, absolutely. But you know what's also missing from this that we'll never know is that there's no audio. So then again,
right.
if I'm coming
I
out
don't
of my
know.
store,
Now think about this. Hold on, Eddie. She was on the phone, so I'm curious to hear because she was talking to him. How did he know to come out of the store?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if that was it or what was
I'm just
going
curious.
on,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's factual. I'm just saying that from what I thought is that she told him, or somehow he was contacted by her that she was getting this guy was busting her chops outside, wouldn't get out of her face or whatever.
Yeah, well, okay, but again, then put him in this guy's perspective. What words did she use? If I'm in the store and my wife calls me and is telling me, "Hey, I need your help. This guy here is, and then depending on what she explains the situation, whether it be real or not, my perception coming out might be that I'm coming out to defend her.
Right.
And I'm trying to get that.
Yeah, but I don't know if my reaction, but just the same as saying that you got to restrain yourself from pulling your gun. I don't know if my first reaction, if that was the case, even my hands would be out and I'd be throwing someone to the ground and then asking them what was going on. I mean, there was no words unless there was something being screamed that there was some kind of interaction that happened in that short walk. I mean, he was on a mission. That guy was going to the ground.
Yeah, but if like I said, we don't know. But if I'm walking out and I hear this guy telling my wife, "Listen, bitch," or "Listen, you whatever,"
you throw him on the ground
again. The same emotion.
Wait, you throw him on the ground for that?
I'm gonna push him away. I'm gonna get him away from my wife, and then he can deal with me. But again,
but she was in the car until he came outside. She came out of the car. She couldn't have felt that. She couldn't have felt that and threatened if she came out of the car.
I hear you, but the husband is in the store. He doesn't know that.
Okay, so we have a viewer that says that he thinks he heard someone came. Here's what he thought he heard. Someone came into the inside and told him and the store worker about the dispute in the parking lot. That's what made him walk out.
Okay.
So we got people online going, "Oh, wait a minute, this is," and they're going looking for it.
Well, it's good because even with that being said, because if that's the case, then still he has no idea what's going on outside at all.
No, he just came out and saw the guy. Right. I agree with Eddie. The guy should have never got out of the car and walked over to the car and taken it upon himself to say, "You got to move your car."
Agreed. He was the instigator, but it doesn't. But then, does that mean you get to throw somebody to the ground?
No, I don't.
You're not allowed to. Listen, I'm saying that I understand. That everyone's like, he shouldn't have been shot. He shouldn't have been shot. But then let's back it up. Should the guy have ever been thrown to the ground to begin with, too? The whole scenario should never have happened. I agree, but now we got four wrongs. You got four wrongs.
I know.
You got the guy getting out of his car, approaching her. You got her parking in a handicapped
spot.
Her
getting out of the car.
Then you got her getting out of the car. Then you got him storming out of the store and throwing him to the ground. And then you got him shooting her. I mean, look at all the wrongs.
It's just a big mess, isn't it?
It's a sad situation.
Right, it's a mess. It starts with her pulling into a spot illegally. And then somebody might want to play sheriff.
Yep.
And then somebody outside saying, "You're not going to play sheriff with my girl."
Correct. And see, that's the thing. We all should already know where we're at in society today. We don't know who's armed, who's not armed.
That's right.
That's why, yes, I'm not going to be a lamb. I'm not going to be a sheep. And I'm not just going to follow and all that. But also, especially if I'm with my kids, I'm not, I'm going to avoid situations
Right.
that can lead to a confrontation.
That's
and that's
correct.
not being cowardly about it. It's being smart about it, because I know that out there every day we walk by threats.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
But he should have never
it's
thrown him to the
right.
ground either. He's got a kid inside.
Yeah.
What was he thinking
Yeah,
was going to
I
happen? He's
hear
going to
you.
throw this guy to the ground, grab his kid, pay for his stuff, and just leave?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying that's the train of thought as well. I mean, we're talking about reactions or reactions, but you lead by example
it's the bully
as well.
thing. It's the bully thing. I'm going to intimidate this guy, because never in his mind did he think this guy was carrying a gun and was going to pull it out and shoot him.
Right.
Right.
He never thought about that. Had he been thinking about that, he probably would have changed his approach.
Right. That's why it's not even worth it. I mean, the guy should have walked out of the store and told his kid to get in the car, and they should have just drove the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Hey, by the
Yeah,
way,
don't even get out of the car. Roll up the window. Fuck this guy. He's an idiot. They already know he does this to everybody. And get out of there.
Yeah.
we're being watched on
And
Ed's
like you said,
70-inch
if you
TV,
go all
guys.
the way to the get-go, if you go all the way to the beginning, there was other parking spots available right there. So again, it was just
right. This guy wanted to. No. I said it.
convenient
Well,
to
listen.
you.
I said it though. He wanted to play sheriff. The guy was already known for harassing other people for parking in that spot. The store owners already said that the guy's done it before.
So this is a local guy that goes there all the time.
And must hate people pulling into that spot. He wanted to play sheriff.
What?
That's what I'm saying. If the
dumb.
guy just didn't put his hands on him.
Yeah, this is a situation that it can be. I mean, look, I feel bad. Again, I don't think the guy should have been killed. So, I feel bad because now there's a young child that has no dad, right?
Right.
But this is not a situation where it was a black on white or it was race. So Sharpton doesn't need to come down here and do a march.
No. And this is not the situation where law enforcement is trying to cover up.
No.
They're just following what the current law
The
is.
tape's there.
Yeah. So
They didn't write the law. They just enforce it.
Right. And that's what the sheriff was saying. Look, bottom line is to the letter of the law, I can't charge him with anything. Is it unfair? Oh, you bet your ass it's unfair. Completely unfair. But
if you guys think there are things that need to be changed, then you got to do it. But coming down and stirring the pot more and more and more isn't going to get all of a sudden an instant reaction.
Right, and it's just making a divide even worse because you've got half of the people that know about this that are gun carrying, legal. They're supporting the guy. They're not saying what he did was right, but they're saying to the letter of the law, he
didn't do anything wrong.
Legal. So,
right.
But anyway, so so my buddy Ed, who is my engineer buddy, and he builds all the systems here and takes care of us, and he puts up with my bullshit. So
do it, Ed.
At home
Shout out to Ed.
70-inch TV we're sitting on. Must be a little blurry because we're only doing 1280 because that's what they like for us to stream at. Nobody likes any big stuff, which is crazy. It all should be big.
Crazy talk. That's crazy talk, I tell you.
So let's just move on because I think
it's a hot topic. I mean, it's always going to be a hot topic.
Yeah,
it's always going to be a hot topic.
Right. We're in agreement that, you know what? The guy was wrong. Legally, he was right, but overall, he was wrong. And they were both wrong. I'm not saying all the fault.
Everybody's wrong. The whole scenario's wrong.
Yeah, this whole thing. So I have a question for you, Eddie.
Yeah,
why are you home and not over at Trump? Oh, look who's there. What's up, doggy? He's like,
well, why?
I figured you'd be over at Trump.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, but dealing with the crowds and the craziest and the protesters and all that, I mean, it's just I'm comfortable at home.
That.
I could have been streaming live for you from there, but
Well, my question is why did Trump come into Tampa International instead of coming into MacDill?
Well, I'm glad he chose that.
Because you wouldn't be here. That
There's your answer.
I don't know why, but I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well, again, his purpose of the visit wasn't to see the troops this time around and all that. So I guess that's why he kept it to a commercial airport and
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are. I actually know a lot of people that are actually there, and I tried to text them and say, "Hey, Skype in or vMix in for us, and we could, see what's going on, or even go live on YouTube and give me the link, and I can pop it in real quick, just so we can either make fun of all the protesters or not." To me, that's kind of funny stuff. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's interesting. I went to the one at the Sun Dome before he was president.
Yeah. Oh, that was crazy over there. So I made a post earlier in the week, actually Monday. Is that yesterday? God, ever since I've been
earlier in the week.
I got back from Kentucky, dude.
Earlier in the week.
I'm in a tailspin.
We like to call it John. Some of us just call it yesterday.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
has
true.
to be. Everything doesn't have to be so dramatic.
I feel like it's Friday. It's weird.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Don't tease me.
I know. So I posted, I put a post out that said that I'm no longer following the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, movie franchise,
I heard that.
due to the fact that I disagree with the way Disney handled it. I'm not saying Mr. Gunn is a saint, by no means, but neither is Disney. Because if you go back and look at both of their pasts, they have issues, major issues. Disney had a little. They were. If you want to pull the racist card, if you go back and watch a lot of the cartoons that Disney, Warner Brothers, MGM, all the guys back in the day were about as racist as they get. But that time back then, the atmosphere back then, it was accepted. So Mr. Gunn, years ago, I don't know exactly how many years ago. I really don't care. But we all mature, we all grow up. I can't tell you, we can't sit. I don't know about you guys, but I can't sit here and say that I've never, ever, ever said something, did something, or made something happen back 10 years ago, or not more like 22 before I got married, because my wife straightened my ass out. That I'm really glad that social media is not around, because it would get my ass majorly hammered. So for me, Gunn was a shock jockey. Even though he wasn't radio, he was more of that shock jockey. He was that say whatever it took to make you go, holy crap, why did you say that? To get social media following, to get noticed.
And stuff, yeah.
Right. So if he said that today, that would be a major problem. But back then, because I'm going to tell you, there's other big boy stars and women movie stars that have said stuff similar that I don't see us boycotting and firing and whole 9 yards. So personally, I think Disney, I'm sick of the public condemnation. It's just bullshit.
Well, I don't understand how they pick who to demonize and who to excuse. You know what I mean? It's like it's a pick and choose thing going on there. I don't know what the code is for who gets automatically, you lose your job, you lose your contract, you lose everything. And other people...
First, Disney said that he never had the contract for the third Guardians of the Galaxy. He came out and proclaimed that he did. Disney never said that he was going to be the director of the third one. And then I guess some of the tweets weren't just about being funny. It was about Holocaust. It was about raping kids. I mean, it's stuff that there's a difference between stupid humor, and there's a difference between stupid humor, and there's a difference between, like, how the fuck, first off, what person thinks that that's funny?
Well, first of all,
like, here's one I'm reading right now. One of his tweets: this feels great not being raped. The best thing about being raped is when you're done being raped, and it's like, whew, this feels great not being raped.
Well, yeah, but that was okay. So if you go back and find the context, well, okay, look at
What
Amy, what's her
context,
name?
John? Could that be right in?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna. Give me time to get there. So Amy, was it Schumer? Made the same jokes on stage about being raped, and when it was over, it was great.
I don't agree with that either.
Okay, but okay,
and you
but
don't have to go to her show, but I have the right as an employer not to employ you.
Again, 7 years ago.
I know, and listen, that's what I said to the wife. The first thing to start coming out, I go, we're gonna start seeing a generation now, for the first time, that's going to be held to their social media from 10 years ago, because it's never happened before, because it wasn't around.
I've been trying.
What have we said since day one?
Yep.
Anything you put down is there forever.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Anything you put online is there forever. Remember that.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I need to do a couple things. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy. So there is a software, I think it's called Snapbird, that can go back to your very first tweet ever.
Scary.
It is. So it's like,
but that's another thing that I guess caused the alarms when they said that all of a sudden Gunn is deleting hundreds and hundreds of old tweets.
Right.
And everyone's like, well, wait, if it was that funny and the context is there, why are you deleting them all? Obviously, you feel that either it's detrimental to your career, or that you realize that it wasn't funny. It was actually pretty disturbing.
Well, yeah.
So here's my other issue though, John. I was ready to just Guardians of the Galaxy for me was my movie. I loved it.
Yep, me too.
I mean, I loved it. I loved it. Chris Pratt I followed him through Parks and Rec.
Yep.
I respect his story, because I made a tweet the other day. Oh, he worked hard. He wasn't lucky. People misunderstood when I say lucky. You're still lucky when you work hard. When you're in Hollywood, you can bust your ass and still not get lucky.
Exactly.
So when I say that, I mean that out of the kindness of my heart, that I know he busted his ass, but he's lucky. So this is when I started having an issue. Is Disney's made their decision. Now, Disney's been held to not making the right decision on other movies.
Right.
So now here's Disney stepping up the second time. Because first we got Roseanne.
Right.
So here's the second time Disney's stepping up, saying, oh no, we're not going to tolerate this. We're changing our personality and we're changing our persona here at Disney. There's too much shit going on. I'm reading this. Amy Powell from Paramount was fired not 9 days ago for I don't know how old this article is, but about, within this month of misappropriations and being inappropriate with people. So Disney's like, we're going to take a stance. We're going to do this. That was their decision. I'm ready to let that James Gunn see ya. I still got all my Guardians of the Galaxy shit. I love it. All the pops, everything.
Yeah.
Until I start reading a letter from all the actors telling me why this guy should have his job back. That's when I'm just like, I'm sorry. You guys overstepped your boundaries. You, as an actor, are paid a lot of money to portray somebody else. And that's awesome. It doesn't give you the right to stand on a soapbox and tell me that I have to accept that I don't feel that this is a joke at all. And it doesn't make me want to support anything that the guy does, thinking that he's joking about the Holocaust, 9/11, little boys, underage boys fetishing, touching him in his special spot, little boys. I mean, just stuff that goes on and on. It's just like, are you kidding me? That's not joking. That's why he even had to declare in some of his newer tweets, these were jokes. None of this was stuff that I actually wanted to act out. And it seems wrong that I should have to say that. No, it doesn't. Because any normal person reads this and goes, dude, you're not normal.
Right.
That's not normal.
That's like the people
we missed it the first two movies. We missed it. Now it was brought to our attention, and guess what? It's not normal, bro.
Right.
We can't have you working here anymore. Oh, this is an outrage. He's the best guy in the world.
Oh, no, I would never. No, see, I preface it that when I say things.
I mean, that's what the actors. Come on, he's great. James Gunn's a great guy.
It
I'd
may
love
be
to
what
see him
they're
on the third
thinking
movie.
and what they're saying. It's not what I said. I said.
I understand, but I'm telling you, this is the letter that set me off. Is when I'm starting reading all the actors, being like, he's a great guy. I'd love to see him direct the next one. I bet he's a great guy. He boosted your career.
Right.
Come on, Star-Lord. Or should I say Andy Dwyer? I mean, come on. We all know the story. Like I said, I love him. But I have a big problem when actors start to tell me how I'm supposed to think. I'm smart enough to make that decision on my own.
Exactly.
I would have let this die down. I don't need to see more and more letters coming out. The cast is now wants James Gunn, to be brought back. And this is, what do you think Disney's going to do? I mean, you know what I say? They just killed the third movie. That's it.
Well, yeah. I don't.
That's
think,
it. You guys stood by Gunn, stand by him, because Disney's not going to make a third one now.
Right.
And that's a shame for someone that loves the movie. I love it. Stan Lee's creation, he loves it. That's one of his favorites. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
I don't know if Disney won't do it based out of that. At the end of the day, I think all studios is governed by moolah, money.
Yeah, but look how much Disney's got. Do they need to make a decision where people are that split on it? Is it worth it to them? That's only one.
It depends.
They still own all of Marvel.
Oh, I get it.
We're about to see the whole team back together again, basically, except for one or two characters. For the first time since, the early 80s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's huge. Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, that's what they don't understand. You're just this. Out of my 10 fingers, you're just one of them. Maybe.
Right.
Am I going to let this one with cancer all of this? I mean, you have people that are pretty serious when it comes to these suites.
Is it a cancer? I mean, they can say the same thing, is just because I'm an actor, why do I have to be silenced on what my thoughts are? Why can't I band with other actors if we have this common, thought or belief that he shouldn't be fired? I mean, at the end of the day, they're people just like us, and ultimately.
Yeah, but I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that his argument of just saying because he's a good guy, he should have his job back.
Well, I tell you what. I mean,
it's still not saying that. Well, listen, I think it's sick and disgusting. I have a kid of my own. And for someone to say that to me, like you said, if someone called your wife a bitch or whatever in the other case, you might come out there and want to defend her. This guy is writing stuff about children. I don't care if it's 10 years ago.
The stuff what you read, I'm not into Twitter that much, so I hadn't seen it. That's a sick fuck. That's all of that is.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These actors should have just let this case be a case.
Yeah.
They all stepped up.
This is why we talk about stuff like this, because it disillusioned me on the franchise on both sides. I'm not for him and I'm not against him, but on Twisted Views, the one thing we do is we look at both sides, and that's why we do what we do on this show. I'm not sitting here saying that Gunn's a great guy. I'm just saying he's got issues. He's going to fit into that pedophilia thing where they're trying to pass as a new
a new level of pedophilia. Now let me ask you: would you hire
him? No.
Oh hell no.
No.
There you go. I mean, I know. But that's the thing, and that's where it's like, listen, guys. I'm glad that he did it great. He did you guys had good careers. He made it a little bit better. But I mean, let's stand by the fact that with Hollywood having so many problems and accusations of what's going on in Hollywood in general,
right?
Pedophilia, and then you have these things getting pulled up, and then you have actors defending it.
So
that's when I'm like, well, wait a second.
So I'm surprised. I'm surprised because we've talked in the past how people are quick to abandon people as soon as an accusation comes out.
Yep.
That people get fired. No one supports them and all that. So I'm surprised that they chose this guy to defend. Out of all the people, it's not here. It wasn't an allegation. This is stuff that you can look up. He wrote it, his words, whether he says it was done in comedy or not. it's wrong.
Well, I don't think it's truly comedy. I think it was a shock factor, is what he was going for more than he was going for comedy. And I think it bit him in the ass, because I've told my kids, and I've told them a million times, be careful what you put on Facebook, be careful what you put on Twitter, be careful what you put it on, because this can bite you in the ass.
Yep.
But what I think the biggest problem is that why did it take Disney so long? Because Disney.
I don't think they knew.
Oh,
I think
no.
No. Somebody who said that it was
like,
reported. I'm gonna pull up the article.
That's like
Someone
going
said
to
that it was something
going
that
in
was
front
so
of the
far
judge
ago.
and say, "Yeah, Judge, I didn't know that speed limit was 75 miles,
Oh,
70
I'm
miles
with
an
ya.
hour."
I
Well, how
agree.
fast were you going? 100. No. Disney's a big company, and Disney. Well, I guarantee you, before they hire you for something very high profile, they will dig.
You want me to
your
tell you what
ass.
this article states?
Sure.
The article says that it was brought to Disney's attention and resurfaced because, according to Fox News, Gunn is against and outspoken against Donald Trump. And these tweets were resurfaced and stirred back up to knock him down a few pegs.
Okay, I get that.
Mission accomplished, the article says. Gunn has been a long-time provocateur who has drawn ear in the past for his unusual humor. Among the tweets that forced Disney and Marvel's hand were, "I like when little boys touch me in my silly place."
Okay, and I get that. But my point is,
I know what you're saying. Why did it take this? All of a sudden,
Disney-
two successful movies to all of a
Yeah.
sudden say, "Hey, James, listen.
yeah,
You know those tweets that we saw that we weren't going to say anything about
Right.
because you'd made us two great movies?
Yep.
They're in the public now, so we have to fire you."
exactly.
I get it, John. I
They
get
should have
it.
never hired him. If
I don't
they were
agree with
so-
any of. Here's another one. I don't agree with any of it. I don't agree with how the situation started.
Right.
But here we are.
Yep.
And what I really don't like is them telling me that it's okay.
Eddie's
That's
watching,
what I don't
by
like.
the way.
What?
Eddie's watching us. How's Eddie watching
Oh,
us and
okay.
being on at the same time?
I don't know.
hell,
Oh, I'm
that's
good. I'm good.
You are good, dude.
I'm very good.
Yeah. So to me,
But no, that's my concern is that okay, it's old. Yeah, okay, it's old. He never acted on it. That's to be who knows that, but okay, let's say that's even the case. It's still not appropriate. It doesn't make sense.
oh
It's
no,
disgusting.
no.
So
I'm
now
we're on
now
board. We're on-
so
so
that's
we're
the-
agreeing
that's
on
what-
that.
That's what comes about. So why do I need 9 actors signing a letter telling me to bring the guy back?
Who cares about? See, I don't care. I don't give a crap about the letters. My point is when Disney and Universal and Capitol and all of these big, huge, massive companies hire you for
Let me.
hold on. With extremely high profile job, which that is what he did. You can't tell me they didn't sit there and go, oh, we're going to dig into your past, and I'll guarantee you they knew about it. So it took them to make a couple $1 billion to finally go, okay, we made enough on him. We're going to throw him to the wolves. Not saying what he did was good. I'm not condoning that at all. But you're either going to stand on your principles from the beginning, and standing up now doesn't show me nothing but you hide pedophiles. Great. One less thing to make me, or one more thing to make me not want to support anything Disney does.
Well, and that, I'd agree with that. I'm trying to find what you're talking about. I know we got like 2 minutes. Or 1 minute.
No. This is the one
No,
show
not
that goes
this
as
show.
long as we want it to go.
Not on this show.
I'm
Sorry,
trying to
you're
find
stuck.
the tweet. There's a great tweet. I know. I might have to go before the wife gets home too.
Uh-oh. She didn't know you were playing with the guys?
She knew. I just told her I'd be an hour, so
Okay.
she knows this gets me going though, so it's fine. There's a tweet I'm trying to find. It's a great one. Yeah, it's a great one from Bobcat Goldthwait, and it's sort of what on the lines of what you said, John. It was basically like, here we go, Disney. Now you want to come in playing the all high and mighty. I don't want to misquote it, and that's why I really want to try and
that.
find
He
it.
also wants them to take all his voices out of everything.
Well, he also did a leak. He leaked a ride that they haven't even said anything at D23.
Right.
And he leaked it on Twitter, which
Yep.
of course blows everybody's mind because they're
Yep.
like, he just released a ride that no one even knew about.
Yep.
I want to find it. I'll find it.
No, so it's kind of funny. So while we mentioning Bobcat Goldthwait, and I don't want to get off the subject, but I watched the documentary on Robin Williams, and I never knew that Robin Williams and Bobcat Goldthwait were like super tight. Super tight.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, watch. I think it's Robin Williams' "Welcome to My Mind" or "Into My Mind" or something like that. I've watched it. I've caught bits and pieces 3 times, and it's.
Is it on Netflix or where's it on?
HBO, I think, but I bet it's on Netflix.
Okay.
But it's good. It's really good. It's like some of the stuff you didn't know about Robin Williams is absolutely fascinating. So.
Because I love that guy. He's one of my all-time favorites.
when he died, I cried because he was.
Yeah, it was sad.
I mean, he affected our industry in ways most people don't even know how much he affected the way our industry runs.
Yep.
Really, they don't. But he did. It's phenomenal. So. But yeah, so
You find that, Mike?
Yeah, it says, so I'll read it verbatim. This is Bobcat. I love James Gunn. He's a loyal friend, super talented, passionate, and kind. I wanted to say something. Here it is. Dear Disney, I would hate for you to come off as hypocritical, so I'm suggesting that you remove my voice from an attraction that's coming to your park. It's called World of Color. And I reprised the role of Pain, a role I played in Hercules. You see, here's the deal. Years ago, I made a lot of sarcastically shocking and offensive jokes. Many that I'm embarrassed about now. And I'd hate to make you guys look bad, seeing that I'm openly critical of the president and his administration. And you seem to be taking your lead from some of his radical fringe supporters. I think James Woods may have recorded a voice for this new attraction too. Why not check out some of his wacky past tweets? They're a hoot. For the record, I do stand with survivors of sexual abuse, and I was wondering if you guys are still making money off of the movie Powder. Asking for a friend. Thanks, Bobcat.
Oh man.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Okay, I think.
I mean, so he calls him out, and he's saying that it's a political move. I mean,
What is it?
I
mean,
it's
I don't know if
you know
it is
that's
or
what
not.
sucks, Eddie. It's like what you said about how the day and age of where we are in society. This is another point of just like, why is? I mean, if it is, it sucks. If it's, I mean, what he said is disgusting. If it's coming out because of that is disgusting. I'm not understanding why everything is driven by racism and politics.
And politics.
Because it gets
and Trump.
headlines. That's why.
Not just and Trump.
It gets headlines. So.
I mean, please.
Did this
please?
backfire
There's so
on
many
Disney?
other things that could stir somebody's opinion besides those 2 topics.
Oh, we have somebody online that says this. We need to make a movie with Kevin Spacey, Kathy Griffin, Bill Cosby, and Mel Gibson, directed by Gunn. Think we get them
Oh,
in
God.
States? Holy shit.
Oh,
That's
my
funny,
God.
Rob. Attaboy, Rob. Yeah,
Rob
Ford
Ward,
camera
yeah.
setup is because Robin from work. That's awesome.
I'm scared to see what kind of crew we'd be able to hire that would be safe around all them.
Yeah, well, bunch of Teamsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd fix that in a heartbeat, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm really sitting back. I mean, we're talking about it, but I'm really sitting back looking to see how this is going to affect Disney. You know?
I mean, their stance from everything is like, listen, we never said that he was going to direct the 3rd one anyway, which we know is bullshit.
That doesn't matter.
We know he was going to.
You know that's crap, and I know that's
Right.
crap.
Like Eddie said, are they really taking a dive and just putting the series away at 2? Or do they bring it back for the 3rd and just have somebody else direct it? Will the actors really have the balls to say, if Gunn doesn't direct it, we're not going to do it?
Right.
That's going to be the thing, because now
Are you
you're
willing
talking
to give
to
up
Disney.
those millions?
Well, hold on. Disney, you reject one movie of ours, we're not going to
reject
come
them
to you
all.
for another one.
That's right. So
It's going to be like the old Harvey. It's the old Harvey is what we call it. We'll
it's
give
gonna
you
be
the old
like
Harvey.
It's going to be like Roseanne. Roseanne got canned, and now they're coming
They're
back.
going to call it Connors. The Connors.
Yep. So we'll
They're
see.
out. We got the Connors.
I'm not going to watch
Crazy.
it. But you know what I did see on Fox yesterday? The first advertisement for Last Man Standing is coming on.
I never watched that series before it was out. When it was out before.
I did. I loved it. So,
Really?
But I like Tim Taylor. I do. You know that Tim
Fox
Taylor
picked it up
cool
now,
man.
right?
Yeah. Huh?
Fox picked it up, right?
Yep. Fox.
ABC
Yep.
didn't want it, and then Fox was like, "We picked it up." Then.
Yep.
I think it's good to have diversity out there, and people don't understand that. And that's what I think. I hope that the younger kids understand that. Is that it's good to have people that don't agree with you all the time, and you have to be able to accept that, old and young.
No,
You just have to be
I don't
like
want any
everyone's
diversity.
entitled to it.
Don't tell me.
I
how
can
to
walk
think,
away from you
mister.
like that stupid son of a fucking bitch. But that's all I'm doing is walking away saying that, and then tomorrow we talk again.
Yep. There you go.
Nowadays, it's too much of butt hurt and
jeez.
What did he just say? I'm
Right.
unfriending him. What did they just say? Oh,
You know, I was listening
not
to
how it works.
who was I listening? Oh, I was listening to I keep calling it Cowhead. I guess the Calta this morning, and they had jeez, you're getting old, man. It sucks.
I know. I can't wait to get there.
You had a Garcia,
Right, Eddie?
Mencina, Garcia, yeah,
Okay.
Mencina. I think it's the
Mencina.
comedian, and he was on there, and he was talking about how women had this safe, this little box up there, and they want you to give them their, they want you to be intimate with them, and the minute you give them a little secret, that you really don't want to share, but you're trying to have that communications back and forth. They plug that thing away, and about 10 years later, they just slap you with it. You're like,
10 years. Seems like it happens instantly. Sometimes only a week.
yeah,
10 years. 2 weeks later. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I just tell you that? What are you using that against me for?
Right. And why are you using it against me? That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
They don't tell us theirs. Why?
No.
Because they're afraid. It's amazing. Guys, and you guys will know exactly what I'm saying. We all could get into a fight, an argument today, and in a couple days, we're just fine like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Right? Good friends can do that. Okay. You get in a fight with your wife, and I don't care if you win, you lose. And that stuff will get stored. Right?
Yeah, but hold on. But girls are like that with girls as well.
Oh, girls don't like girls at all, unless they're
No, and that's what I've said as well. I'll even say that. I'm like, the guys, we could bust up. She'll even look at me, I can't believe you guys are talking to each other like that. I'm like, we're fine. I'll talk to them tomorrow.
Right.
What? You told him, is it? I'm like, that's how it's fine. We'll talk about it. We're just talking,
And women will go for
Oh, no.
ever.
I see that bitch on this block.
Yeah.
It's down.
That's 20 years later too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not tomorrow or 2 weeks or 2 months. 20 years
Just
later.
say the
get
girl's
hell
first
off my
name and you
block.
see the eyes. Just say the girl's first name and you see the way that. What?
I just thought that was funny. Not that I mentioned we were going to talk about that, but I was funny. It was this morning, and I guess Carmen was. Carmen gives it all away for the women. She goes, "Oh yeah, we use that shit all day long." That's how we show love, and
Yeah, but because she knows that a lot of women are listening to that show. That's why she can do that.
Yeah,
She knows her audience.
but it was funny. I was like, yeah. I heard a story once where a guy said that his wife dropped him off to work. This lady in her red dress walked in and said, "Hi, how you doing this morning?" Blah, blah, blah. And they walked into work, right? And then she was wearing a red sweater. And then about 10 years later, they were out looking at some stuff, and she looked at this red sweater, and he goes, "That would look really pretty on it." "Well, not as good as it did on that, blah, 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 blah." And he goes,
Crazy.
"How do you remember that? 10 years. 10 freaking years, and you just now pull that crap out.
10
it was
years,
so
and they
funny.
don't say anything at the time.
Yeah. So,
They don't say anything
yeah,
at the
exactly.
time, though.
They didn't
They
say
wait.
a word.
That's
So,
the thing.
But anyway, it's, yeah. So tonight's been a good night. Unfortunately, Michael, I guess, didn't come out of the closet because of his migraine.
Again.
Yeah, we got to talk to
Listen,
that guy. We got to
all
talk to
doing
that boy.
time.
Yeah.
At his own pace. We don't want to rush him.
Yeah, he needs to get that crap in line. So is he really?
Own
Is it really a
pace.
video shoot? I mean, a photo shoot, or is it a date?
I'm not sure
I
what it is.
have no idea.
This is going to be a fun Friday.
So.
Oh, God. I'll tune in.
Yeah, we may roast
Oh,
again.
absolutely. You need to.
It's funny.
No, that'll be good.
And then,
Yep.
Tech Warped is going to be filming after Nerd Talk at, we get done 7:30, 8 o'clock. They're going to go live, I
Wow.
think. Yeah, 8:30. And 8 or 8:30, one of the two. And then they'll be rerun on Saturday at their normal time because they're trying to, we're trying to consolidate days. So, because I'd like to have one day kind of, to me.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Now, I'm only 20 years old, and I look this old.
I know.
It's really sad.
We gotta get out to one of the theme parks. That's the thing.
Well, hey, this is what I'm doing this weekend. My wife
Busch Gardens.
has a church women's group, and they're going to go away. So I figured Saturday might be a day to get up and early and head over to Universal.
That is good. That'll be a good day.
Yeah, just we're pass holders, so I don't go in there and try to do everything. First thing I do.
That's the beauty of being a pass holder.
Yeah.
People don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Yep, I go over.
I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine, John? Like, you see those families in line that you know how much money they spent, and they have one day to try and do it all with their kids,
Yep.
and you're just like, I feel
Yeah,
so
that's
bad for
crazy.
these people. They're never going to be able to
Yep.
do it.
And they're buying.
Not enjoyably.
No. And I hate to go on vacation and try to have to be stressed to try to get everything in like 3 days.
Yep.
Or even 4 days. Because if you like right now, if you go to, I don't care if you go to Disney, if you go to Universal, you go to Six Flags, you go to Busch Gardens, you go to SeaWorld, you're waiting in a line. Period.
Yeah.
And I mean, it ain't no short line, it's a line. And
Right.
and right now, because I think school starts middle of this month, right? So everybody and their brother's trying to get the last hurrahs in.
Right.
But I figured we'll go.
We
over
know the Florida pass holder secret. The
Yep.
best week to go is usually the last week of August.
Yep, exactly.
First week of September.
Oh,
Because that's when the northern schools go back, is the first week of September.
Yep.
Then nobody. Then it's like, I think that's every year we seem to get a pass. It's right around the mid-September because no one's there.
we're going over
No
for
way.
Halloween Horror Nights,
That'll be fun.
and then
We're gonna do Hollow Scream.
and we're gonna do Hollow Scream too. I told the guys at MetroCon, Busch Gardens was there. That was awesome. They had a booth, and
Yeah,
they
that
were
was fun.
That was so good that I'm gonna go to that, but I'm also gonna go to this year at Angel's House up here by us, which is pretty good.
The
Pretty
thing.
good. Pretty good for local.
I've
Absolutely.
never heard of them.
Really?
Oh, we.
Was it run on
year-
weekends or something?
I'll find out. Because I know the 2 weeks before Halloween, I think they were open every night. And it's pretty good. I tried to go over to the one in Tampa.
Is that where they give you the bracelets where they can touch you or not touch you or get
Yes.
real up on you?
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Yeah, I would have to get the no-touch bracelet
Oh, I want
unless
the
I can
touch.
touch back.
Give me the touch. I'm all good.
No, because out of fear and reaction, I might
reaction.
throw a punch.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, but you got to remember. I mean, when no matter where I go, I took my guys a couple years ago to Universal, and I got on fast passes, the whole 9 yards. It was a company trip. We went through, and it freaked them out that I never jumped, I didn't scream. I'm like, well, that's cool. How did you do that? And
Yep.
they're like, how? I mean, we took this one kid, and dude, he was a big burly dude, big old massive beard, tattoos all over his face. And I won't say his name, but he knows who he is if he's watching. And we took him through the one where the werewolves were, and it was it was the Werewolf in London. And I've never heard him scream like a little girl in my life until that day. I mean, that thing,
See,
that
John,
werewolf
that's-
came out behind that school, that car, and if he could have, I think he floated on air to get out of there and screaming like a little girl. But it was awesome.
That's awesome.
But
That would be me. See, and that's the problem. I go into that zone of past the yellow, be alert, past the red, be on high alert. I go into that black zone of fear that even an accidental breeze of wind hitting me on top of the head, I'm yelling and screaming. So Now, I ask you this, John.
Yeah.
You say you stay cool, calm, and collected. What if it was all clowns, though?
Nope. Okay, so we went to, okay, the year before, 3 years ago, we went to one. It was that was The Walking Dead, and it was really big. But they had an Alice Cooper house, right? We went in there, and there was clowns in there, but they had zombie strippers, and we were all giving them dollar bills as we walked by because we just thought they were sexy as hell, but they had the blah blah blah. But
Zombie stuff.
2 years ago, Jack was back. Jack's the clown. That dude freaked me the hell out. And the last house we went into was Jack's house. And my son was like, if you don't go, you don't. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go. I think I went with Ed. Me and Ed Griswold went. And God have mercy. It was all I could do to not, and you think you're safe and you're out and you're walking through the last little bit of thing there, and nope, they're all fake except for one, and you don't know which one it is, and that jump scare just, dude, I almost pooped myself. It was, but anyway. We're gonna go back. We go every year. It's just kind of become a tradition. We're actually gonna stay in the brand new hotel that they're building right now. They sent out for pass holders. I don't know if you saw it, Mike, but
Allura.
Oh yeah, it was like and it was like $99. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Because what we'll
It's
do
nice. I haven't seen it in a little bit. That's nice.
Yeah,
it's right there next to Sapphire Falls.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're gonna stay there. We're gonna go in on a Saturday, Friday night, and leave back Monday, and then we're gonna go to Halloween Horror Nights Sunday night. So so we have found the best 2 nights to go. Period are Wednesday night and Sunday night.
Yeah, the slowest too.
Yep, and then we get a fast.
I was
pass.
spoiled. We did the RIP tour.
You know,
I had heard the
rumors
rumors about how bad the fast passes were, and I was like, I can't handle the lines. So I actually got us the RIP tour, and that was incredible.
How much?
That was a whole nother experience.
Oh, really? You saw
because
the
you
backside
don't
of
wait
it,
in
right?
any lines. You have a docent that walks with you. There's 12 of you. You walk right into every house. They have separate areas where they have bathrooms that are opened and hidden areas just for you on the RIP tour.
Okay.
And then as you're doing the houses, they'll dip you into certain rides that are open where you get to go to the front of the ride line.
Rock and roller
ride.
coaster at night is freaking
Yes.
awesome. Holy crap.
That's it. Night was awesome. We did the Mummy, which was awesome.
Yep.
Because you could ride the Mummy with nobody on it. So you can have those pictures at the end of the Mummy where it's just you on the ride by yourself.
Exactly.
Which are great.
But, you know,
it
even
was
with
a
the
lot of
fast
fun.
passes, I don't think we waited ever more than 15 minutes.
Oh
Ever.
my God. This last 2 years ago, they said the fast pass line was 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Where?
All the houses at HHN.
No.
HHN 26.
No, dude, I was there. I'm
But that
telling
was
you.
like, that was a Saturday.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. So, yeah, you go to Friday, Saturday night, you're waiting.
Right, it was a Saturday in October.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday in October. No, actually, it was the last week of September.
Okay. Either way.
We stayed at the Hard Rock.
Right.
We stayed right at the Hard Rock.
Either
but-
way, if you go on a Wednesday night or a Sunday night, you're not, yeah. And
Well,
here's,
and like we were talking about pass holders, you know, there's people, those guys that live out there. I mean, they have those Halloween Horror Night passes. They can go every night that it's open, just go to one house, and then they just leave.
No.
Because they can go in and out.
No. You have to buy, that's a separate ticket for everybody.
Right. Right. They get a pass, so they have that HHN pass. You can go every night of HHN.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm
But
saying. So they use it like we're
I'm not
talking
gonna do
about a
that.
pass holder.
Right.
No, we're not out there. But those guys that live out there, I mean,
Yeah.
they just
Yeah,
go into a house and then they're out of there.
So we
I'll
got,
do
Holy crap,
Halloween
it gets
here.
packed.
so we got to take Eddie.
Oh my God.
We got to take Eddie to Halloween Horror Night. Dude, it's worth it. I'm telling
It's
you.
intense.
It is. It's good.
It's intense. Howl-O-Scream is awesome.
Yep.
HHN is put on by the people that make movies.
That's
and
a
so it
whole
is
new level.
intense.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh
it's
my goodness.
intense.
So you meet us out there that
It-
Sunday night if you can, and we'll do. This is how good. This is how good. Okay, so we went. Normally we go Wednesdays. We did go one Sunday, but we would show up. So because we're pass holders, we would go inside the park during the day and then queue in
Go to
Flanagan's.
the holding area?
Yeah.
Go to that little holding area?
Well,
Yep.
we go to Flanagan's. Was it? It's Finnegan's,
Yes,
right?
Finnegan's,
Yeah.
Finnegan's.
And we'd have dinner. So we sit down, have some dinner while waiting for the queue, and then you're queued, you're in, and then they just let you go.
And no one's in yet.
Yep.
I know, it's
Dude,
awesome.
it's awesome. We got done. It started at 7, and we were done by 9:30. All the houses.
That's awesome.
And then as we're walking
Nice.
out, what we do is we find 2 people coming in and go, "Hey, here you go."
You're
Have
like
fun.
me. I always try and give somebody a pass when I walk
'Cause
out if I got one.
Kind of you pay it forward type of thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. You know what? It's
Good
been
show.
an hour and 20
Thanks for
minutes. It's
having
been a
me
good
on.
show. Thanks for coming on, Mike.
Yeah, it's been real good.
Eddie, you look tired,
Thanks
baby.
for having me.
Oh yeah, it's time.
It's time, isn't it? All right, man. So
Yeah.
we thanks for letting us take a week off last week, and we will be back next week, and maybe we'll have Michael and Michael. We never know. I mean,
Oh, boy.
I have to big shout out to vMix. It's the company that we use for our software internally and all of our machines, and because they're just good guys. And we use a lot of it, and we install a lot of it. They gave us the vMix Pro. So now, WeBeam TV is powered by vMix. I want everybody to know.
vMix.
So if you want to do what we do, and you need some software, call us, and we'll help you set your computer up, and we'll get vMix set on there, and we'll be all good. So until next week, you know what? I think tonight was a good show, don't you? So
Yeah.
I think tonight we're going to give it 3 twisters.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
there you
man.
go.
So we'll see everybody next week. Everybody be good.
See you finally at your house.
Yeah, find them out.
Warning, the views and opinions expressed by the hosts of Twisted Views do not necessarily reflect those of WeBeam TV, Area 52 Media Group, or Tampa Bay Multimedia. Simply put, these guys can be jerks sometimes.